I'll share with you what would make you a top earner in any company. Guarantee you. I could go and execute a series of plays and become a top earner in makeup, shampoo, in any company. It would be by following what I'm about to share with you. Okay. But I didn't say that it would be easy, and I didn't say that it would be quick. Some of you have become aware that I am building a new network marketing company, right? Some of you may not be aware, but some of you, probably most of you, are aware. And it's interesting because I've never held this position. I've been a number one income earner. I've been a VP of a company. I've been offered master distributor multiple times. I've actually never been a master distributor. I was the number one income earner, but not the master distributor. That's interesting, right? But I've never been a founding partner, and that's where I'm at right now. And so I had a conversation this morning that pertains to this topic of how to be a top earner. Okay. So I'm gonna share that with you. So one of my partners, my two partners are Dion and Graham Cook. Some of you know him. And so, this morning, we launched this company 15 days ago. And this morning, Dion asked me. Now, Dion is one of the smartest guys I know. I mean, he's brilliant. I mean, he is a PhD in business leadership. He built a venture capital company. He sold one of his companies to like the number one insurance company in the world. He's ran 21 different companies. Like, he's brilliant. And him and I are such a good partnership because he brings every metric that has ever existed to mankind. And I'm just like, we'll figure it out. God's got us. So I'm the God's got us guy. And he is too, but let's back it up with metrics. And so like he has metrics for every single thing. It's amazing, right? So he's got all these averages, all these percentages, and he's just got this huge dashboard. It's amazing. And so he asked me today, he goes, okay, it's been 15 days. And he's like, okay, how do we start getting into people's, second and third generation? And so right now I don't have a distributorship. And so, I'm just, if someone hasn't heard of it, I'm, getting them on a 5-day free trial, getting them on the corporate link. And so the company is, we bring in a lot of people. And he was asking, okay, how do we start getting into the second generation, third generations? It's been 15 days. I said, well, right now we have, maybe 20 dabblers. We got maybe 50 promisers, right? Which I never count the promisers. And neither should you. Guys, we've started the training, just in case you haven't caught on. This is part of your training. Never count the promisers. Now, what am I calling a promiser? A promiser is the person that promises they're going to run. A promiser is the one that tells you they're going to break records. Promiser is the one that tells you they're going to be the number one earner. Never count the promisers. Now, I used to get duped. I know I have. So I used to get duped. Someone come in and be like, yeah, I brought in 30,000 people to my last company. We're going to break records here. And I'd be like, ooh, ooh. I'd be like, yeah, high-fiving people. Yeah, hey, did you hear? I'd call the owners, hey, man, with fail. I wish I could tell you it was 99% of the time. It was 100% of the time. They never did anything. 100% of the time, they never did anything. 100%. Can't count the promisers. So what you have to learn is you have to learn to understand a promiser when you're encountering them, but not tip your hand. So when someone says, oh, I'm going to break records, bro, I'm going to kill it, man. They're going to rename the company after me. I have to know in my head, they're not going to do anything, but I can't say that. I can't be like, darn it. Okay, well, thanks, bud. Good luck. So yeah, you got to be kind. Right? And you just say, hey, I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help. And then you have to quickly pivot and go bring in some other people. You got to. Because if you get duped by the promisers, then you're going to create graphics for them. You're going to do a comp plan video for them. You're going to travel to city. No one will be there. You will get so banged up and distracted on someone who's not going to do anything. Don't do it. And so I told him we got about 50 promisers. We got several 100 members, right, that have come in the last 15 days. We got about 50 promisers. We got maybe a dozen dabblers. And dabblers, they brought in a few individuals, no duplication yet. And so we'll see, there's promise in the dabblers. You never know. You never know with the dabblers, and you pay attention to them. It's only 15 days, right? So you can't be too focused. And we got one runner. The runner, they've brought in people. They've brought in people that have brought in people. They brought in people that have brought in people, and they're already in their fourth generation, and in 15 days, right? And so, so now that person, I just sent her a message. I said, hey, let me know how I can help you, here for you. And she goes, hey, can you do a live for me? Absolutely. Hey, can you look over this ad copy? Absolutely. Right. So I'm there, right? They're doing the do. What happens when you don't have a runner? Or what happens when you only have a dabblers or promisers? You have to go bring more people in. You have to bring new blood into the organization. Your job is to do what you wish everyone else would do, and that is bring new blood into the organization. That's your job. There was a guy, I was part of a company many years ago from 2013 to 2016, and there was this guy, Eric. I thought he was a great presenter, and Eric at the time was single. Some of you may know my friend Eric, but Eric, he would fly in, he would get a one-way ticket into a city. He would fly into, Chicago or New York or LA or wherever he would fly in. He'd fly into a city, one-way ticket. He'd fly in and he would build until he found a runner, okay? Not a promiser, not a dabbler, but a runner. He would work until he found a runner. Once he initiated with a runner, okay, he would, spend some time with them, see them get some results, see them do some presentations, fly to the next city. And that's what he did to build a humongous organization, huge. But what was he doing when he didn't have a runner? He was bringing new blood into the organization, okay? And I think the one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they get their hopes up too much on their prospects. So they send a free sample, or they send a 5-day free trial, or they, send a video, and then they can't wait to hear back from them. Hello, Joe? Oh, Mom. Hey, Mom, I'm waiting for a call from Joe. Okay. All right. They get their hopes up. They hold on. They wait. It's like they may miss it if they've sent someone a free trial or a sample or a video. It's like they'll blow it if they think about someone else. No. Okay. It's if I send a video, I'm sending that video. I'm going to let the video do the work. I'm talking to 25 more people that day. That's how we doing. And by the way, yes, I believe in follow-up. You should absolutely be following up, no question. But you should not be following up in replacement of talking to new. Let me say that again. You should not be following up in replacement of talking to new. And so do the follow-up. Absolutely, no question. Those of you in Rank Makers, you have my #1 training in follow-up right in the group. And so yes, keep following up, but don't do that in replacement of new. You have to do follow-up, still talk to new. You have to, because there are going to be times when all of your follow-up is fruitless. No one moves forward. This morning in Rank Makers, I talked about lead goals versus lag goals. And this is a concept. It's in the, I think the book's called The 4 Disciplines, I believe. And so most people, they focus all of their effort on staring at a lag goal. And a lag goal, sure wish I wasn't pudgy. Sure wish I had more money in the bank. Sure wish my wife loved me more. See, those are actually lag goals. Those are actually results of your habits and routines. So instead of looking at pudginess that you can't do anything about, look at what are the habits and routines that created the pudginess. Instead of looking at the bank account, which you can't wave a magic wand around, look at what are the habits and routines that created that bank account. Is it bad stewardship? Do I have to have every streaming stupid thing that exists? Do I have to have Hulu and Max and Paramount and Prime and Netflix and Disney and that, right? Do I have to have all of these things? Do I have to be terrible with my money? Do I have to, only prospect a couple people a week? And so instead of being upset about the lag, be focused on the lead. Focus on the lead. If you are someone that does samples, okay, you should be, okay, how many people do I have on sample right now? How many people do I have on sample? That should be a number you actually pay attention to. How many samples have I gotten out? How many people have I prospected? How many videos have I sent out? And you don't just send these out willy-nilly. You have to understand human psychology.